What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It's Friday, May 8th, 2026, and we are here at Kaagbaan for a second consecutive day of arrivals. Different weather today than we had yesterday. Mostly overcast, although it is said that later in the day the sun is going to get out a little. Bit cooler, but still dry, and it's going to stay dry. Welcome to the show, everybody. Maria, goedenavond. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Welcome to the show, everybody else who has joined already. Dennis, avgeeks, Potter, Andy, Jan, Davy, Al-Mustafa, Alper en Veener, Inimini, Marciola, Finde, Pierre, Nico, Marike. Good morning, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, one and all. Big picture overview. This is what things look like. To the southwest, to the west, to the north, to the east. The sun is out. There are thinner patches in the open, in the cloudiness, but it is mostly overcast. Lastly, looking to the south. First airplane coming this way, SAS flight 821 arriving from Oslo. That's an A320neo on the 8 o'clock. Further to the left, you can see Sun Express arriving from Kayseri in Turkey. That's a 737-800, flight 1322. Hey, A330 coming in with the Turkish holiday livery. Thanks for the heads up, Al-Mustafa. That's a lovely airplane. When is it due? Very strong winds and rain over at Maria in New Zealand. Hope her power stays on. I hope so too, Maria. All the best. Sounds like autumn has arrived over there in New Zealand. Same runway configuration as yesterday, means 09 serves outbound traffic to the east when there is a outbound rush hour and it's open. The primary runway for outbound traffic, once again, is center. Right now there are two runways open for outbound traffic and only the Kaagbaan is open for arrivals. Means that everything that is leaving for the west will be leaving via the center runway as a sort of polderbaan by proxy. Mike, good morning. Marike, goedemorgen. Jorik, goedemorgen. Alexander, goedemorgen. Tuning in from South Africa. Salut Jean-Yves. Good to see you again, mate. Hope all is well. QJ, goedemorgen, kerel. Peter Jongeneel, goedemorgen. Leo, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody. Air Canada, flight 900 arriving from Montreal, is on the left. That's the second airplane. And is that Turkish with the special livery already? Yeah, it is. Turkish special livery turning in to become third arrival here after this. And Air Canada. Quite a lot of activity here in the water already. Gary Grebe is here. His mate is too. Or is that... I think that might be... Is that Snoop Ducky Duck? Anyway. Next up, Air Canada, flight 900, arriving from Montreal, Canada. (787) Dreamliner, it is underway for 6 hours and 3 minutes as we speak. It's a proper Canadian, it has 2 Quebecs in the registration. This is the Charlie Golf Hotel Quebec, Quebec, which is 11 years old. Its first flight was in December 2014. MM Stolk, goedemorgen. Jeffrey, goedemorgen. Peter, goedemorgen. Peter asks, is it cold? It is. I'm standing here with my parka on. I have my gloves on, and I also put my buff on to keep my neck a bit warm because the wind is blowing in my neck when I'm looking, when I'm operating the camera and pointing it to the glide slope. And with a fresh haircut and a bald neck, that is a little coolish. Ramon, goedemorgen. Andrea, goedemorgen. SK Intruder, goedemorgen, good morning. Leroy, goedemorgen. And Leroy says in Dutch, have you seen the royal family's post on Facebook? Yesterday it was William Alexander who flew the PHGOV. It was his last flight on the 737. I didn't see it, but I did see people commenting about it being the last flight of the king. So I didn't see the post itself, but I did see people's comments in the under the short that I posted. Philip, goedemorgen. Also in New Zealand. Flip. Henrik, Roberto, ciao ragazzi. Wessel, goedemorgen. Flight, hotel and more. I wonder what the more is. What more than flight and hotel? Food? Gourmet food? JM, goedemorgen. You're right, absolutely right, Davey. Wind means no bugs. There are no bugs here yet. I hope they'll stay away. German Monster, good morning. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Marianne, goedemorgen. And Abraham Shinobi. He changed his name as Super Chatted to celebrate the occasion. You really did not have to do a Super Chat, Sander. You know that. Come on. Don't be silly. Sander Bram Shinobi. There you go. Until his 51st birthday, which is in 360 days from now. Hey Jeff, morning mate. A free visit to a Turkish prison, he speculates. Might be the case. Depends on what you do. Hunter Cat, good morning. Welcome back. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Delta Airlines Flight 56, arriving from Salt Lake City in Utah. Another A330neo. Hans Worst, goedemorgen kerel. En Veronique, goedemorgen. Veronique is sitting next to Hans. And Hans is celebrating 6 months of membership. Greetings to Veronique, who is sitting next to me, heart. Congratulations, Hans, and thank you so much for your support. I hope that the half here in the lounge has been to your liking. If anything is amiss, do let me know what you feel needs to be improved, and I'll get on it. Goedemorgen to you both. Good morning to you both. Congratulations, Hans, and thank you so much for your support. That is a yellow badge for you for the upcoming 6 months. Hey Liewe, goedemorgen kerel. Good to see you again. Liewe also in the chat. Next up, KLM flight 1402 arriving from Paris. 737-800. And following it is going to be KLM flight 736, which is a 777 arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. Domislova, good morning. Welcome to the show. Happy Friday to you all. So I'm wondering what to do in the weekend. Yesterday, Danny was here. He took a picture. He took action pictures of me. If you haven't seen them yet, head over to the community section and you can see. He also told me that the McDonald's is closed, as is the parking spot over there. Due to works on the roads or something, or maybe the parking lot. I'm not exactly sure. I remember correctly, but either way, McDonald's is closed, the Spottersplatz over there is closed, Polderbaan is closed. You know what that means. Everybody and their mother is going to be coming to the Kaagbaan tomorrow and on Sunday. And I really don't feel like having to look over my shoulder constantly for somebody wanting to beat me up or having dozens of people over here. So I'm wondering what to do. Maybe take the weekend off. Go somewhere else, but where? If they're going to use the center runway for departures, the north side is basically not a very suitable location because the airplanes will already be pretty high up and be taking off overhead. Alsmeerban is always a secondary runway. So go there, you have action for an hour and then an hour or an hour and a half of nothingness. Very demotivating all. Either way, this is KLM Asia, 777-300, flight 736, arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao, 8 hours and 53 minutes underway. The PHBVB, Bravo Victor Bravo, 18 years old already, first flight March 2008. Rider of Doom, good morning. Anchorage, says Maria. Lots of 747s there. What happened? Before going live, I checked Flight Radar and I saw that there was one 747 that had just departed from Miami. Only one airborne, just as I was about to press the start the live stream button. That's it. Harry Heron is also on land. Harry Heron. Haircut looks a little like that of a grebe. Gary is now investigating if he wants to buy the property of Daisy Duck. Right. First little bit of sunshine over here. Who knows? Maybe it will get warm. Wouldn't that be something in the beginning of May? Next up, SAS flight 1553 arriving from Stockholm, A320neo. Behind it, another A320neo from EasyJet. Looks like after that, we're going back to the wide bodies. KLM flight 644 looking to become the third arrival here, 787-10. And Delta Airlines flight 74 arrived from Atlanta, Georgia, also not too far away from it. Europe Aviation, goedemorgen. And welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined. More SAS, more sassy landings. Morning Bob Booster, morning Bastian, and morning all others who may have joined in the meantime. You're still watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at the Kaagbaan. The sun is coming through the clouds just a little. Who knows? Here and there, bits of blue visible. Frans, goedemorgen. Oh, that was still the autofocus. Let's go back to manual. I will switch from manual to auto. When filming the duckies on other birds. And sometimes I forget to put it back. You get focus dance, which is what you saw. Camera trying to focus in on the subject. That happens during auto focus, and it's fixed to whatever you set it to. If switch to manual. KLM A321neo taking off from the Buitenvelderbaan, runway 09. Hey, John Logan is also back. Good evening, mate. Welcome back. Hope you've had a good day. Mr. Renmid, good morning, and welcome back to you too. Hope all is well. The weekend is upon us. For some, it has already begun. Do you guys have any exciting plans for the weekend? Anything exciting happening? Dreamliner time, KLM flight 644, arriving from New York, JFK. 78710 Dreamliner. It's going to be followed by Delta Airlines flight 74, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. A330, right there, gear already out. Almelo in the house, tuning in from The Hague. TJ says, good morning, my son is arriving soon on Delta Airlines flight 162 from Minneapolis, USA. Very grateful for your channel to see that the plane lands safely. Thank you. Well, if all is well, it should be landing here. What time is the estimated time of arrival? Is it an A350 or is it an A330? Because whenever Delta has been sending A350s to Schiphol recently, it was always from Minneapolis. Direct Laguna, good morning. Stefan 14, good morning. William, goedemorgen. Jero, good morning. Tuning in from Arlington, Texas. Are you up early or up late still, Jero? Same, and the same question for Canada Chef Chris, who is watching from Canada. So are you guys night owls or early birds right now? Vigo, good morning. On Wisconsin, says A330neo. I am assuming that is in reference to the question about Delta Airlines from Minneapolis. Well, assuming it is going to be landing here in the morning hours, we should be able to cover it. No problem. Should be landing here, regardless of runway use. On paper. Here at Schiphol, you work with probabilities. On paper, Delta Airlines Flight 162 should be landing here. In actual practice, you never know for sure until it has happened. Night owling for Chris. FJWH, good morning. Tuning in from Ameland, one of the islands in the north of the country. How's the weather over there? Annette, good evening. Welcome back. Marijke, goedemorgen. Hans, goedemorgen. Welcome everybody. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. So, this morning when I looked on Flight Radar, there were no 747s on the way. Right now there is at least one underway. I'm not sure if there are more underway by now, but shortly before going live, I saw that one 747 had departed from Miami. Now that still is going to be underway for 7-8 hours or so. So that's not going to be landing here anytime soon. But to my surprise, when I opened up Flight Radar this morning, I saw no 747s airborne. And only the A380, which was expected around 1:30. And then the last time I checked, shortly before going live, its ETA had been postponed to 1:45. Mustafa asks, will they switch to takeoffs? Who are they and what are you referring to? The wind isn't going to change, so runway use today isn't going to change. It's also expected to be similar tomorrow and on Sunday as well, if I recall correctly. Runway use depends on the wind. And obviously whether or not there are runways closed for maintenance like the Kaagbaan is right now. EasyJet having arrived from Birmingham. Next up, a 777 arriving from Johannesburg in South Africa. Sun is beginning to shine more and more, and my buff is starting to get a little warm. That is a winter garment, but overkill right now. Luckily, taking that off is quite easy. I just had to temporarily remove my microphone hat. Alright, KLM flight 592, 777-300 and behind it is KLM flight 668 arriving from Austin in Texas. That's a 7879 Dreamliner. Sebo, good morning. Robert, good morning. Alan, good morning, mate. Start of the weekend for you. Do you have anything exciting planned for the upcoming weekend? This is KLM flight 592, a 777-300. Alright, it looks like after the next airplane there is going to be a small gap. LATAM Airways is approaching Leiden and is probably going to be the next arrival after the Dreamliner from KLM that we're now seeing. Maybe if we look hard we can see something. I'm not sure that we can, but I guess not. Sasha, good morning. Bram, goedemorgen. You have a nice one too, buddy. 7879 Dreamliner, KLM flight 668. Flaperons working their asses off. Casper, goedemorgen. Paul, good morning. Hey, time to celebrate. Liwe is celebrating 37 months of membership already. Holy shit. That's a long time. Time flies when you're having none. Absolutely right, Liwe. I hope that you still enjoy the membership and the modding. Regardless of whether you have time for it or not. We all have our own lives. And at some times it is more busy than at others. But congratulations and thank you so much for your long-standing support. Not only as a long-standing member, one of the longest, but also as a very valued moderator. 37 months and counting. If anything is amiss in the lounge, do let me know. I thought we had fixed the marijuana shortage that you referred to earlier. But if we are still running low on certain things, do let me know what needs to be put on the groceries list. I'll see what I can do. Have a look at the geese. Now, are these different? Oh no, I was about to say, where are the goslings? No, don't tell me there are only 2 left. You have got to be shitting me. No, there are more. I saw movement over there. No, wait, that's Chris Coot. That's Chris and Curtis Coot. No. Is this a different pair? I sure hope it's a different pair. Aren't there also geese over there? Oh yeah. Oh, I think this is the pair because yesterday we were here and there were a lot of goslings over there. I think that's the pair with the 13. Maybe this is just a couple who have 2. Aw. Aw, have a look at how furry and cute these are. Looks as if the parents are constantly on guard to see that there are no predators who are out for the young ones. What a cute couple of goslings over there. Jesus. Furry. Hey Ricardo, goedemorgen. Absolutely lovely. In the meantime, LATAM has arrived. LATAM flight 8078 arriving from Sao Paulo. It's a 7879 Dreamliner operated by LATAM Brazil. Having arrived here after 10 hours and 42 minutes of flight, the PSLAA. It's Papa Sierra Lima Alpha Alpha, 6 years old, first flight October 2019. Salut Pierre. E. Peterson, good morning. Dutchbed, goedemorgen. Yeah, so the geese are right there. My eyes are positioned a little higher than the camera is. The camera lens is. The goslings are also over there, but just on the brink of not being visible. Maybe we're going to be lucky and we'll be able to see them a bit more. Next up, KLM flight 980 arriving from London City and Embraer 190. After that, Tarom, which is right there, arriving from Bucharest, flight 3601. Third airplane visible already over there. That's KLM Malta, arriving from Malta. Little balls of fur. That's what they are. Russell is over there, on guard, apparently. And it looks like Snoop Dogg is sleeping here. Or no, the eyes are open. Ah, there's Snoop Doggy Duck. Next up, Tarom, flight 361, arriving from Bucharest. Semi-sleeping, semi on guard. He acts like he's sleeping, but in the meantime he is keeping everything in check. Just like the parents over there are. The goods are over there on the left. Hey, that's good news, Davey. Davey says that KLM Cityhopper is thinking about replacing older Embraers with the A220. That would be nice. That would be a nice addition to the fleet. More howling, whining engines. Not just E2 Embraers, but also A220s then. Hey Carlo, goedemorgen. Fixie, goedemorgen. Danny, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is KM Malta. I'm arriving from Malta. Who'd have thought? Bit bouncy. Bit bouncy. Hey Ronald, goedemorgen. Happy Friday to you and all the others who have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. If you guys are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like. It brings in more people in the future. So yeah, not much other locations to be going to do a live stream other than this location for the time being, with Polderbaan being closed and also the McDonald's Spottersplatz is closed. Still not sure what to do for the upcoming weekend. If you have suggestions, let me know. Oh, up next, flight 337 arriving from Tel Aviv, 7879 Dreamliner. Carlo asks, why do you never see Aer Lingus? We do see Aer Lingus almost every stream. I'm pretty sure we're going to get Aer Lingus here today as well. Aer Lingus is still flying to Amsterdam from Cork and from Dublin on a daily basis, multiple times a day actually. Do something nice with Lisa. Well, Lisa will be going to Belgium tomorrow for Mother's Day. She'll be returning on Monday, so that's a no. Not this weekend. Ooh, have a look. How cute. Yellow furball. That is so sweet. Absolutely lovely. Ruben, goedemorgen. Stef, good morning. Tommy, goedemorgen. Good morning. René, goedemorgen. Jepama, goedemorgen. Wietse, goedemorgen. David, goedemorgen. Go back to focus set to infinity, which is here. Hey Jay, good morning. Davey says tomorrow and Sunday the Polderbaan is open apparently. Is that so? What is your source of information? This is KLM flight 1772, arriving from Berlin, 737-800. Ooh, they're coming back. Swim. Hey Martin, good morning. Welcome back, mate. Leo de Vogel, goedemorgen. Bobbers, good morning. Welcome to the channel, guys. Right. Hey, that's the orange stripe probably leaving. I saw it on flight radar. Oh, it's already over there. Bastards getting away from us. Yeah, that's the orange flag. Hard to recognize as such. Saw it on flight radar and was trying to film it, but it was already too far away. The backlight wasn't working in our favor either. Next up, Emirates Sky Cargo arriving from Aguadilla, which is a 777 freighter, flight 9920. Flight time 8 hours and 26 minutes. The Alpha 6 Echo Foxtrot, November, 11 years old, first flight June 2014. Ah. Well, thanks for the updates, Jordi. That's good news. So maybe not everybody will be coming this way then. Because that was what I was afraid of. If the Polderbaan is closed and the McDonald's is closed and everybody will be coming this way. Things are getting a little oversaturated here at Schiphol. I've been thinking about going into ship spotting more and more. Although I'm not exactly living right around the corner of Rotterdam, I do think it is very interesting what's going on over there. Would obviously not be live streaming content, but compilation content then. But in aviation you see everything is getting more fuel efficient. Twins, everything has to be more efficient. The quads are disappearing rapidly. And things are getting more monotonous. Only a few different airplane types. And in the world of shipping, the bigger the better. Economies of scale. Hey Roger, good morning. Jonathan, good morning. Kars, goedemorgen. Kars is tuning in from sunny Provence in France. Well, over here the sun is also shining. There are just clouds in the way, as is often the case. Though, when you look above, there are openings. They are growing, slowly but surely. The wind is still cool, but that's okay. We have wind, and that means no bugs. Unlike yesterday. Henk, goedemorgen. Henk is referring to a C-17 that is above Leerdam. Well, even if it were visible from here, the clouds would still be in the way. Unfortunately, we don't get to see contrails right away. But what is over there? I think that might be blue sky. If that's coming this way and looking at the direction the flag is moving, it might be that the openings are drifting in from the east. So may well be that in an hour from now we are basking in sunshine. Croatia Airlines arriving from Zagreb, flight 450, Bombardier C-Series 300. I think maybe because I needed to scroll laterally to read Jordi Ying's message, my chat window has frozen. Let's see if we can get that back to working again. Not yet. Right. I'll have to sort my chat window in a minute because there is a 777 coming. Oh, well, we still have a few minutes, so let me fixate the pen and tilt. Copy the link, close the chat window, paste the link, top chat to live chat, scroll down, zoom in, and we should be, yeah, we should be good again. Matt, goedemorgen. And John is celebrating 8 months of membership, nearly full term, yeah. When's the due date? That you're going to deliver, mate. That rhymes. Inadvertently, I'm rhyming as well here. John, thank you so much for the support, mate. 8 months. Hope they've been to your liking. If anything is amiss in the lounge or in general with the streams, let me know and I'll see what I can do to make things better for you and the other members. Hope you still enjoy the membership and the streams. If not, let me know. Now, Emirates Sky Cargo, looking for a parking spot over there. Good morning, Trond, and good morning to all others who have joined. Next up, an airplane that is arriving from Iraq. You are Airlines. So we are Airlines, operated by BH Air. Arriving from Erbil, 5 hours and 8 minutes on the way. John feels like he's having quintuplets. Mario speculates he might have had too many Tim Tams. Well, if you are getting quintuplets, you're well on your way to getting a football team ready. How about that? Becoming a football manager. 2.5 of those deliveries and you'll have enough people to start your football team. Anyway. Airlines is arriving from Erbil in Iraq. 5 hours 9 minutes the journey has taken. And what a floaty touchdown that was. The Lima Zulu Delta Bravo Tango. And that's a 19-year-old airplane. Hey Joop, goedemorgen. That's the updated ribbon tail. One of the 34 custom emojis for our members. Make sure to use those custom emojis, ladies and gentlemen. If they're at your disposal, have fun with them. Get creative with them. Goes for all members, new and old. Don't let them gather dust there. Now, speaking of custom emojis, almost a month ago, I opened a poll in the community section for members. Most of you will probably have voted by now, but tomorrow is the cutoff date, the 9th. And we'll see, I think the majority of you wants new emoji. So I guess I'll probably open an open post where you guys can let your voice be heard, and I'll just start counting how many people say one or the other emoji. And if we have a tie or if there are a few favorites to go, we might also opt for replacing multiple. But the poll is still open if you haven't cast your vote yet, insofar as it still makes a difference, because I think there is a majority for one of the two options, a clear majority, but you can still vote, insofar as it is still worthwhile. Groover, good morning. Jeffrey, goedemorgen. German Dudeist. Guten Morgen, herzlich willkommen. KLM 8321 Neo, flight 1002, arriving from London Heathrow. Little unevenness in the following. I think that there was a wire stuck. Okay, is this the beginning of a runway inspection? Looking on flight radar, you don't see. Yeah, I've got an answer to the question. Runway inspection has begun. I was about to say, looking on flight radar, there doesn't seem to be any traffic coming to the Kaagbaan right away. And that is because right now there's a car on the runway doing an inspection. It is 10:35, so I'm guessing at 10:40 they are going to start with converging arrivals. It always used to be 11. Lately it has become 10:40 more often than not, where they're opening up another runway for arrivals. KLM flight 749, arrival for Cartagena is approaching, but I'm wondering, is it continuing to 36 right or is it turning in for Kaagbaan? May well be that it is continuing for 36 right, since this car is still on the runway. Then again, it might well be off the runway again in a few moments from now, and the Dreamliner is still a few minutes out. Japanese characters, Ohio gozaimasu, good morning. Andrew, good morning. Sarah, good morning, welcome back. Davey says that the Schiphol firefighters helped with the data fire yesterday. Is that so? There was a big fire in Almere, wasn't there? A data center caught fire. And all of a sudden, a hospital in Utrecht had problems with access gates and whatnot and had to shut down partially. The interwovenness of modern day life. Halm, goedemorgen. Richard, goedemorgen. Good morning, one and all. It does look like KLM flight 749 is turning final to runway 06. So, I guess that the runway inspection was short-lived. KLM flight 749 arriving from Cartagena in Colombia should be now... Oh yeah, there it is. Should be on final. There it is. It's a 7879 Dreamliner. Flight time has been 9 hours and 27 minutes. The Papa Hotel, Bravo Hotel Papa. That's a fully symmetrical registration. Read it backwards and it still says the same. It's a 7-year-old airplane. Its first flight was in August 2018. And if I go full digital zoom, you can see that the gear is still in, but now extending. Main gear is coming out. Hoi, goedemorgen.
Hoi, goedemorgen. Ik had uit in januari deze foto van jou gemaakt toen je er bezig was.
Hey.
Wel vet om te hebben.
Cool. Ja.
Kan ik die naar jou geven, sturen?
Ik denk dat het makkelijkste is om... volgens mij staat op mijn YouTube kanaal staat ook een contactadres, een e-mailadres. Kun je het op de e-mail zetten?
Ja, is goed.
Super, man.
Wel leuk, toch?
Ja, zeker. Leuk, man. Wanneer was dat? Want het is nog in winterkleding, dat is een tijd geleden.
21 november 2015.
21 november, cool man. Ja, hartstikke leuk.
Ik had de foto's terugkijken, dat dus wel vet of zo. Ja,
Ja, absoluut.
van jij in je werk.
Ja, nee, hartstikke mooi getimed man. Hoe heet je?
Nathan.
Nathan. Nou ja, hartstikke leuk, Nathan.
Ja, oké.
Nathan is here. He just showed me a picture when I was still standing here with winter garments on. Well, not much has changed actually. A couple of months later, back from November. But he scrolled through his pictures and was asking if I would want the picture, and if so, how he could send it to me. So that was what we were discussing just now. Hey, dankjewel man. Fijne dag. Dank je. And I hear GE90s being started. You may also hear it because the blimp is more or less pointing in the direction of the platform area. So it looks like this triple is getting pushed back and will be leaving pretty soon. Andrew, good morning. And welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined. Hope you're all doing well. The sun is starting to shine here on occasion. We began the day with overcast conditions, at least here in the west. In the east, I saw on the satellite footage it was already clear, and I think it might be drifting in. The wind is blowing from the east today. I think more openness is coming our way. KLM flight 749 arriving from Cartagena in Colombia. Unmistakable sound of GE90s being started over there. Now, earlier there was somebody who said their son was arriving on Delta Airlines flight 162. That airplane is now turning in and is looking to be the second for arrival here on Kaagbaan. Being preceded by KLM flight 1404, arriving from Paris. And ITA flight 108 is flying to the south, and I am wondering, is it going to be landing on 36 right as the first arrival there? Or is it coming for Kaagbaan? It doesn't look like it's coming for Kaagbaan. Looks like it will be one of the first, if not the very first, arrival on 36 right. Davey is already afraid that the tune is going to be stuck in his head again. Which tune are you referring to? Which one would that be? It wouldn't happen to be this one, would it? What you need is to reset. You have to turn everything off and then on again, and it will clear the memory from that tune from your head. So, together with me. There you go. Memory has been erased. And we can continue without that tune stuck in our head. Up with the tripod. Okay. Feels like it is moving smoothly. No, just now it didn't. Hey Lance, good morning. Alright, next up Delta Airlines flight 162, arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. A330neo, 7 hours 40 minutes. The flight time, it's the November 437 Delta X-ray. It is a brand new machine according to Flight Radar. That means it's less than a year old. The first flight was in August 2025. So it will turn 1 in a few months from now. have a look. A nice wheelie to boot. Danny, are you ready? You know what time it is, don't you? Hey, Jindrosek also back in the chat. Good morning. Ahmed, good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody. Jindrosek says, I hope Polderbound will be open again soon. Hard to say as a spotter, but the number of takeoff straights over my house is driving me nuts this week. Well, as it happens... Jandrosek, the Polderbound apparently is opening up this weekend. Something I also didn't know. So it's going to be closed again on Monday and then reopen again permanently on Tuesday then? That's the plan, right? Ooh. Splishy splashy. That was a coot being territorial, chasing away a duck. Ha! Coots being territorial. Who would have thought? There's a first. ETA 108, indeed, having become the first airplane on the glide slope to the reopened runway 36 right. Now approaching. No bugs today, Ahmed. We have more wind than we did yesterday, and that keeps them away. I've yet to understand the mechanism through which the bugs don't hover above me when there is wind. I don't know how it's possible, but I am thankful that it is actually a thing. Now, let me see. Following has been a bit uneven. I think it has to do with cables that are being stuck behind tripod legs, maybe. Let's see, is that... It should be smooth. Right, well, let's see what happens next. Next airplane is Iberia Flight 731, an A319, arriving from Madrid. ETA is approaching the other runway. Oh, Andrew says that the A340 is just leaving via center. Thanks for the heads up, mate. That's not it, is it? Oh, wait, it is. Already pretty far away. Gear still seems to be out, or is that... No, that's the gear, isn't it? Hot shoe issue on the A340, or... No, it's closing. It almost looks as if the gear is still out, doesn't it? Or is it just me trying to see things that aren't there? Interesting. Either way, good morning, Leon. And good morning to Wouter. Welcome back, guys. Happy Friday to you all. If you guys are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like if you want to help this channel grow. This morning, when I opened up Flight Radar, there were no 747s underway. Now there's one underway that took off from Miami. That's expected to be here, arriving here later in the afternoon, the late afternoon in fact. So we're not going to get any 747s in today's show unless something unforeseen happens, such as a bonus queen taking off from Paris. That might still happen. I don't know beforehand if it will. But that is the only opportunity to see a 747 inbound. Not sure if there are any 747s behind us on the apron right now that are expected to leave. Ah, okay, Lance says main gear doors hanging down but gears in. That also is not normal, is it? Usually they'll pull the lever up and once the gear is fully retracted, the hatches also should close automatically. So keep an eye out for the A340 because I'm not sure. If that actually was a technical malfunction, I'm not sure if this is one that they are going to be flying across the ocean with, or maybe warrants returning to the airport. Ahmed says wind stops or reduces bug activity primarily because high wind speeds, typically above 10 miles per hour, exceed the flight capacity of most insects, forcing them to land and hide to conserve energy. Well, there you go. Now 10 knot winds is something we laugh at here at Schiphol. We have that every day. Some people advertise it as windy weather, but 10 knots or more is actually quite normal here. Hey Danny, goedemorgen. Air Arabia Morocco arriving from Nador in Morocco, which is in the north of Africa. And another Air Arabia Morocco behind it arriving from Tangier. Same country, same continent, same sound effect. I'm not going to repeat that twice in a row. Right, well, keep an eye out for the A340 then, Lance, because if the main gear doors don't close, he writes, she'll return due drag and fuel problems resulting. Thought so. So if those doors don't close, the A340 is going to be landing here. bonus quad, unforeseen bonus quad in that case. The problem causing the uneven following. Partial brake on the pan axis. Lever. If I close the lever a little bit, all of a sudden the movement stops. It needs to be fully open. If not, it can cause unevenness in the following. First I thought it was cables, but I found the culprit. Apologies for that. Second ETA now also landing on the secondary runway. A380 ETA 141. I don't think I'm going to stick around for that, Maria. The sun is beginning to shine, wind is picking up. I need to water my grass seeds. Plus it's going to land on Alsmeerbaan. Not very interesting. All right, Air Arabia up next, yet again, back to back. So the ETAs are almost back to back. Often, sometimes they are. They always are, then they're, at least in the morning hours, they're never far apart. One from Milan, one from Rome. And Air Arabia, similar story. Nador and Tangier. Although I do recall that we also sometimes get Air Arabia from Casablanca, if I recall correctly. And Wouter says A340 diverting. Is that so? Is it coming back? Where is the A340? Here we go. Smooth following. Yeah. The brake on the pan axis was working ever so slightly. Okay, A340 diverting. So yeah, that actually was a thing going on over there. Steven also back in the chat. Niflek, good morning, goedemorgen. I've opened up my flight radar filters to inbound and outbound AMS so that we can also see where the A340 is at. Yeah, it's returning. It's diverting to Amsterdam. Makes me wonder if we are able to see it from here. Maybe, depending on the... Well, no, it's too far away. It's too far away. What is its altitude? It is at 6,000. It probably has to dump fuel, doesn't it? Or are A340s unable to do that? Or are they just in a holding pattern troubleshooting? Because I can imagine that if they are able to troubleshoot successfully, they will continue on their way. Right. I can see the A340 on flight radar now, so... Smoke told you so written on my forehead now, says Lance. Well, thanks to my amazing, wonderful, super awesome camera, we were able to see that something was wrong. And thanks to Andrew, we were able to film it in the first to begin with. Nee, tot je zo, tot je zo. Retro livery, Saudi Cargo A330 turning final on Alsmira. Thank you, Andrew, for the heads up. Raj says every plane can dump fuel. I'm not sure that they can, because there was also a diverting A330 from KLM a couple of months back that we happened to film landing on the Kaagbaan after a double bird strike. It didn't dump fuel because it couldn't. At least that's what people said in the chat back then. Apparently, not all airplanes can dump fuel. Let's see, Air France, A320, flight 1340, arriving from Paris up next. Yeah, and the A340 is in a holding pattern. They're probably going to be troubleshooting first. Last resort option would be to come back and land. Obviously, if they can fix the problem and maybe close those hatches, those gear hatches, they will continue. Yes, the tripod follows silky smooth again. That was the brake on the pan axis partially engaged, causing unevenness in the following. Alright, Inescan, good morning. Tristan, the TriStar Darren, good morning. You smug Lance, never. Alright, there is a Saudia in retro livery coming for the Alsmirban. Let's have a look at it. Saudia Cargo, whoa, huh? This is operated by ASL Airlines, so what's this? Oh, it's the new livery. The white with the green and blue stripes. Saudia flight 933, arriving from Jeddah. always a challenge to find the right, to try to keep the right speed so that you match the airplane again after it has cleared the building. Not always easy, but usually ballpark in the right place. All right, the A340 is still flying off the coast and is troubleshooting. For those of you joining us just now, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are here at the Kaagbaan, where maybe we are going to get the return of the A340. It took off, supposed to go to Latin America, to Suriname, to Paramaribo, but we happened to see that the hatches of the gears did not close. And that is an anomaly that needs to be fixed. If not, they might have to come back and land. So right now the A340 from Suriname is flying off the coast, up and down, round and round, inside out, etc. They're troubleshooting. Either two things will happen. Either they resolve it and continue on their way, or they aren't successful in solving the problem and will have to land here. If the latter is going to be happening, obviously we are going to be here to see it. Geese and goslings swimming about, and we are still waiting for the next airplane coming this way. There's number 175 arriving from Southampton coming this way. Oh, they're going onto land. Nice. Or at least one of the parents is. Have the goslings also made it onto land? Hard to see them. I suppose they are on land as well, or are going to be climbing onto land pretty soon. Or are the parents going to leave them behind? They constantly seem to be on the lookout, looking out for predators. Now, I haven't been able to see any of the two goslings that these two have. Maybe we'll catch a glimpse of them later. In the meantime, there is a Chinese 777 that's coming for runway 36 right. Let's have a look at it first. China Cargo Airlines, flight 209, arriving from Shanghai in China. Steve Aviation, goedemorgen. Martin, goedemorgen. The fly is here. Goedemorgen, good morning. Hey Daniel, good morning. And welcome back, mate. Ron, goedemorgen. Ver Sebastian, guten Morgen, herzlich willkommen. Good to see you again, mate. Right, let's try that following again. Keep up the speed. Keep up the speed. Keep up the speed. Ooh, still a bit too slow. Alright. KLM flight 1070 up next. Oh yeah. Yeah, there they are. There are the two goslings. Right. Let's see. Suriname is still flying off the coast, making it number 10 on Flight Radar. 513 people are following it right now. Let's see what it's going to do. It is still at 6,000 feet. Hey Paul, good morning mate. Welcome back. Hope all is well. For those of you joining us just now, welcome to the show. Suriname flight 993 to Paramaribo is circling around on the Gulf of Yorkshire because the gear hatches did not close. We happened to see it. The main gear did retract, but the hatches didn't close, so they're now troubleshooting. And after failing to fix the problem, it is very likely that they are going to land here at Schiphol again. They're still troubleshooting. I'm pretty sure that if they are able to fix the problem, they're going to be continuing on their way. They should have ample fuel for a few laps over the Gulf of Yorkshire before they need to come back to refuel. Again, Akut being territorial. All's well on my end, Paul. The sun is beginning to shine. Slowly but surely things are opening up here. We had overcast conditions here this morning, but as you can see at the easterly horizon, it looks like there is blue sky all over, and that seems to be coming this way. The wind is blowing from the east today, so that is good news. I already heard from other people in Yorkshire that you guys are having sunshine as well. Hope things are good otherwise as well, Paul. Now, Indigo is on final for 36 right. We have KLF at 1704 arriving from Brussels, number 175. After that, Air Canada flight 808 arriving from Toronto. Peter says the biggest ship was in Rotterdam a while ago, 400 meters long and 60 meters wide, can handle about 20,000 containers. Quite a few of them are there these days, Peter. That's about the biggest category these days, 400 meters long, 60 meters wide, and a capacity of 24,000 TEUs, which is a 20-foot equivalent. The containers that you see are usually 45 or 40 feet. So the containers that you see in the back of lorries are twice as big as the container unit that the ship's capacity is registered in. So it's still 12,000 of those big containers that you also see on trucks. It's still incredible, isn't it? Here we have Air Canada flight 808 arriving from Toronto. It's an A330-300. Thinking more and more about going into the game of ship spotting. I think those big ships are much more interesting than all those fuel efficient airplanes that you see over here these days. Yep, TEU. All right. Glenn, good morning. And Where is the A340? Yeah, A340 seems to be coming back. Now number 7 on flight radar. 745 people are filming, not filming it, are monitoring it. It does seem to be headed for land. I'm not sure if it is economically viable though, Jeff. That's the thing. Then again, I'm also not sure if this gig is economically viable. Live streaming here at Schiphol Airport has become very oversatiated and not as fun anymore as it used to be. If you need to look over your shoulder to make sure that there are no crazy people who are out to hurt you coming for you. Aegean, think somebody wanted to see this? No problem. Aegean arriving from Athens, flight 3624. Need to keep up the speed a little to match the airplane again behind the building. Oh, now I've gone too fast. Need to find the sweet spot still. This is where we're going to lose it. It's lowering altitude, so yeah, that's a clear sign that the A340 is coming this way. You're welcome, the fly is here. Yeah, Suriname seems to be coming in. So Suriname Airways is returning to Schiphol Airport by the looks of it, lowering altitude and on a very extended final to the runway. Maybe we are able to catch it already. If it is, I think this may be it. I think this is probably the A340. It doesn't look like it with 400 times digital zoom. But I think this is the A340, Suriname flight 993. We saw it leave via the center runway, and we also saw that while the gear retracted, the hatches didn't close. Finally, I see that Klaus has returned in the chat. I was hoping for your return so that I could thank you for the super sticker from not last Sunday, but the Sunday before. A belated thank you very much for the super sticker. I didn't see it at the time, Klaus, but I saw you mentioned it in the comments, and I also got an email from Paul, for which again, thanks, Paul. It happened right at the time when a 747 was landing, and I wasn't paying attention to the live chat. I was filming and focusing on getting the shot properly. And then things go quickly, and before you know it, messages have passed away. Alan Lee, ATC, good morning. Ambulance, or what's that? Ah, it's a motorcycle. That's the police. Oh, come on, Klaus. Come on, mate, what are you doing? Klaus Reiners just went ahead and gifted 10 memberships. You really didn't have to do that, mate. Really, you didn't. Thank you so much for your generosity. A warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, to the 10 new members who just received a gifted membership from Klaus. If you are one of the recipients, don't forget to say thank you, dankeschön, or dankjewel to Klaus. Have fun with the custom emojis. 34 at your disposal for a month. But really, Klaus, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. That really is sweet. Legend indeed, Daniel. Legend indeed. Good morning, Jimmy. And welcome to the show, everybody else. So, this is KLM flight 1042 arriving from Birmingham. But this is the Suriname A340 coming back. Hey Alan, thank you so much for your super chat, mate. Thanks for the stream. Get yourself a coffee. I will definitely do that, mate. Thank you so much. So, this is Suriname flight 993 arriving from Paramaribo in not for arriving from Paramaribo. That's force of habit. That's force of habit for you. This is Suriname, flight 993. It was supposed to be going to Paramaribo in Suriname, but it is returning to Schiphol. Why, you may wonder? Well, we saw it taking off earlier and we saw that while the gear retracted, the hatches of the gears didn't close. And if that doesn't get sorted, or if they are unable to sort that while in the air, they need to come back here because the drag will cause problems with the fuel, as Lance was indicating already. So yeah, this is Suriname flight 993 arriving from Amsterdam after a short lap over the Gulf of Yorkshire. Apparently they were unable to fix the troubleshoots, they were unable to troubleshoot successfully the gear, the hatches of the gears not closing problem. In the meantime, you see that the wind has slowed down a little and the bugs have returned. Lots of heat wave distortion, making it seem as if it is extremely warm. It isn't, I can tell you. AMS bugs are live as well, John, indeed. Shortest trip to Suriname ever. I feel for the passengers. It seems like there's always something up with the A340. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, no. What's interesting to see is that the gear hatches have closed after the gear got out. So, begs the question, why can't they close when the gear is retracted? Hey there, Stefan, good morning. And welcome back. Now, Denny, I see a 777 about to cross the runway, so you know what time it is, right? Fireworks are being set off to celebrate that the A340 is back on land. Right. The A340 has landed and I'll drink to that. Bottoms up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to pour me a small glass of vodka. What is going on over there, ladies and gentlemen? Here at Schiphol there's always something to see. Is that a fire? That doesn't seem to be quite normal, does it? Dear Sir, Madam, fire, fire, help. No, wait. What's going on over there? That certainly didn't look normal, did it? Cremation, Daniel speculates. Come on. Alright, not sure what was up there, but it no longer seems to be very active. Looks like a data center could be a failover test. I think we've had enough data center fires here in the Netherlands and fires in general, period. Diesel generator test, okay. Yeah, well, whatever it was, it does look like normalcy has returned somewhat. Alright, back to the action then. Converging arrivals still in progress. And that is expected to be so for another 20 or so minutes, from 11 until 11:40 it usually used to be. These days it's more often from 10:40 until 11:40. As is customary this time of day, now the narrow bodies are coming in. This is KLM flight 1076 arriving from Bristol, an Embraer 190, followed by an Embraer 175. And it's all Embraers going to both runways right now. Maybe somebody set the building on fire because they took their stapler, their swing line stapler. Three Embraer 190s going to runway 36 right. And over here an Embraer 175 and an E2 Embraer is also coming this way. The bugs are back. Even though it is still windy, it is not as windy anymore as it was earlier in the morning. Hey Tina, goedemorgen. And I missed the squirrels, they were married. Indeed. Office space, mandatory watch, mandatory viewing for those who haven't seen it yet. Let's zoom out a little on flight radar. There is a bizjet coming this way from LEU from Andorra. Oh right, that makes sense. Privair. Wonder if it's coming this way or if it's going to be on the be directed to 36 right for a breakaway landing. There's an A330 that wants to cross the runway. It will have to cross the runway at some point. Question is, when will it cross the runway? Andy also knows what's up. I'm going to have to go ahead and need you to ask to come in on a Saturday. If you could be here around 9, that'd be great. So much heat wave distortion. Check it out in the foreground. the other pair of geese with their 13 goslings, or at least there were 13 before. I hope there are still 13 left. Air China Cargo looking at their own fleet. Absolutely lovely. E2 Embraer 195, arriving from Glasgow, KLM flight 936, and it's going to be followed by 954, arriving from Newcastle, another Embraer 175. Where are the wide bodies? They are still pretty far away. From what I can see here on Flight Radar, I don't see any in the immediate vicinity just yet. It's always the same at this time of day. The narrow bodies rush hour. Neverify asks if the A340-600 landed, and you're right. It landed here not too long ago, successfully. Had to return after a malfunction with the gear doors, which didn't close after retraction of the gear after departure. And apparently they were unable to fix it. To me, it was quite remarkable to see that upon the landing you could see that the gear hatches had actually closed after deploying the main gear, or the gear in general. So I'm not exactly sure how that works. Apparently there's an asymmetry in it, so they stay open when the gear is retracted, but they do close again. At least the parts that are supposed to close did close after deploying the gear. I'm no technical expert, so don't ask me how it works, but right. And there is another pair of geese, and this is a pair that have two goslings, two babies, right there. Earlier in the show, they were swimming, parading here right in front of us. And we could see the yellow furry fur balls. Hey Janus, good morning. Good to see you again, mate. Liwa has to go. Thank you so much for joining, Liwa. Enjoy the rest of your day and maybe see you in the weekend. Jeff says they switch the hatches off and on again by landing. I have no idea. I think so. But you'd think they'd also try that mid-air, and well, I'm still surprised. Steve Haynes is tuning in, just got in from work. Good to see Donald and family on the move. Absolutely. So we have two families of geese here with goslings. One pair had 13, not sure how many they currently have. And the other one that we already saw moments ago and earlier this morning up close have two. Now Donald and Daisy themselves, I don't think we've seen them here yet, or have we? Well, maybe we did. It's been Greebs and Coots here, and is this Snoop Dogg? Snoop Dogg. And a helicopter coming my way. Is that the police? Yep, it is. Come on, focus, damn you. Yeah, there we go. I'm standing on the wrong side of my tripod with the cables, but let's give it a go. Wasn't in the best position to be filming the chopper that I suddenly heard from my left as I was filming Snoop Dogg, Snoop Doggy Duck. What up, Snoop Dogg? Here he is. Misha, goedemorgen. Good to see you. And welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We are here at Kaagbaan, where converging arrivals are taking place. The other runway is open still. Traffic from the west is coming to runway 06, where we are filming from. Traffic from the east, at least until 11:40 approximately, so 10 more minutes. Should be landing on 36 right for the time being. From 11:40 until 1, if all is well, all inbound traffic should once again be landing here on this runway, the then only runway for inbound traffic. If you joined us later, you may have missed the diversion of the Suriname A340-600, which landed here not too long ago, after having taken off to Suriname earlier this morning, but suffering from a technical problem with the gear hatches that they apparently weren't able to fix mid-air. Now, before I went live this morning, there were no 747s airborne underway to Schiphol Airport. Now there is one underway that is expected here later in the afternoon, arriving from Miami, Florida. The A380 is underway, and last time I checked was expected 1:45 or so, between 1 and 2. This is KLM Flight 972 arriving from Humberside and Embraer 175. And further back is an Embraer 190, both from KLM, and the Embraer 190 is arriving from Stavanger. Air Oink Oink is in the meantime approaching 36 right. Probably one of the last airplanes to be landing there. Greet, goedemorgen. Pete, what up, mate? If you guys are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like if you want to help this channel grow. Your likes go a long way in bringing in more people in the future. We still have plenty of room for more. The more the merrier. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi in the chat. It isn't mandatory to say hi, but it is always appreciated if people do say hi. If you have questions, don't be afraid to ask them. Many people are watching, and together they know quite a lot, and will happily try to answer any questions you may be having. The center runway is open, and this is Etihad. Having taken off from center just now, and Snoop Dogg is here. Have a look at his bright yellow eyes. Absolutely lovely. Right. KLM Embraer 190, but it's German Airways, the DTM, the Deutsche Touareg-Meisterschaft special livery. So it has cars on the side, Porsches on one side, and a Mustang on the other. It's KLM Flight 1174, returning from Stavanger. That's in Norway, isn't it? Flight time 1 hour and 13 minutes. The damn whoa. 18 years old, this airplane, hailing from 2008. Members who haven't cast their vote yet in the emoji poll, you still have until tomorrow to do so. It seems that the majority of you wants renewal of memberships In other words, we need to retire one or more. I'll probably open a new open poll. Well, not so much a poll, but just a post under which you can comment. I think that's probably the handiest way to approach it. We need to know which to retire. So if you want certain emoji retired, once I make the post, please leave a comment and we'll just count at some point and see which got the most votes or got mentioned the most. And if there are multiple that lead, we might also possibly retire a couple. We can always get them back. If you guys want to do that at some stage in the future. So we'll first need to figure out, assuming that the current outcome of the poll is not going to change. I think that the proponents of change have a very big lead over the people who say keep it the way it is. Means we'll first need to identify which to retire, and then of course we need to figure out what to substitute the old emoji with. Meanwhile, Michael back in the chat, as is Natasha, who is tuning in from Almelo. Good morning and welcome to the show, guys. WestJet, allegedly the best jet, is approaching next. It's a MAX 8 737 arriving from Canada. Halifax, to be precise. Flight time has been 5 hours and 46 minutes. It's the C-FIBA. Charlie Foxtrot India Bravo Alpha. Oh, autofocus. Can you tell? That wasn't sharp. Now it's manual and back to infinity. Michael is celebrating his birthday. Congratulations, Michael. So you're celebrating your birthday today and you're still up really, really early. It must be the middle of the night for you over there in Kansas. Michael wants to celebrate every moment of his birthday. No sleep for 24 hours straight. 23 hours and 59 minutes of non-stop partying. Congratulations, mate. Hope you'll have a great day. Hey, Wolfgang is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Servus. For those of you joining us later, you may have missed the diverting A340. The Suriname A340-600 took off from the center runway earlier this morning. Thanks to Andrew, we were able to catch it, otherwise we would have missed it. But I'm happy that we didn't miss it, because what happened was that it took off and we saw something still protruding from the bottom of the airplane. Lance quickly identified that the gear did retract, but that the hatches didn't close, and that of course is a potential problem. So what happened was that they went into a holding pattern over the Gulf of Yorkshire, trying to troubleshoot it, but they didn't succeed apparently, because what happened was that the A340 returned to Schiphol. We saw it land, and we saw it land safely. Also, didn't see anything out of the ordinary. The gear hatches had closed when the gear was retracted, was lowered. So apparently they didn't want to close when the gear was retracted, but they did close insofar as the hatches were supposed to close before landing. Either way, diverting A340-600, you don't see that every day. I feel sorry for the passengers, because that A340, although it is a nice airplane and a dying breed, it's also pretty problem prone. Michael confirming he is up early exactly for that reason, to celebrate every minute of his birthday. That's the spirit, man. That's the spirit. I hear engines starting again behind me. Turning around the camera to show you, because you might also be able to pick it up on the mic. That's another triple. And that's GE90s being started. Quite typical sound. Quite a distinct sound. Another Embraer 190 KLM. But the livery says German Airways and not even completely... No, wait, this one is... I thought this was the one with the blue bottom. This is full German Airways flying on behalf of KLM City Hopper. KLM 100 years. Sneaking past in the background. I guess you're right there, Jeff. There are worse places to be stranded than AMS. Well, assuming that the passengers are allowed to leave the airport and go through customs. But I do wonder, I assume that if it is a technical problem on the end of Suriname, that they'll also have to reimburse the passengers for being stranded. The cost of hotels and whatnot. Or rebooking. Yeah, indeed, Klaus, new sand mountains. I thought the visibility was going to be okay, but they've placed new sand over here, new heaps. There's always something up here at Schiphol. If it isn't the Polderbaan closed, then it is the McDonald's closed, or new sand dunes being erected here. Props boy says, need more bird content, zoom in on that heron looking thing. Where did you see it? Because the one I saw before over there seems to have gone. Got one over there. Oh no, wait, that's a predator bird. Kestrel or falcon or buzzard. I'm not sure what it is. There are buzzards here, there are kestrels here. Or, yeah, no, that does look like a predator bird. That's a predator bird, isn't it? Hey, Mats, good to see you again. Eddie the Eagle. Well, you know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen, don't you? Triple 7, cleared the runway Just in time for the next 777 to be landing here. This is KLM flight 682 arriving from Vancouver, Canada. 777-300 8 hours 54 minutes underway. Now this is the PHBVR Bravo Victor Romeo. Nine-year-old airplane, first flight May 2016. Time for Delta Airlines with an A350, ladies and gentlemen. First Delta A350 of the show, flight 136, arriving from Detroit, Michigan. Now, usually when we do get to see them, they are going to or either arriving from Minneapolis. So, nice to see. Does that mean they're sending more than one A350 to Schiphol these days? That would be nice, wouldn't it? So, this is Delta Airlines flight 136 arriving from Detroit, Michigan. 6 hours and 58 minutes away, and in the background another airplane turning in. That's KLM flight 1088 arriving from Cardiff, and Embraer 190. So, flight time for this airplane has been 6 hours and 59 minutes. It's a 7-year-old airplane, first flight September 2018. Cassandra DJ says, thank God I got a mail that my membership ends soon. I would not have remembered your channel. They booted my main yesterday for no reason, which was subbed. Mate! Well, in that case, good thing you got a reminder email. It's good to that you have found the channel again. Welcome back, at least. Embraer 190, and what else is there coming? A321neo, E2 Embraer 195, Chinese triple entering Dutch airspace from the northeast. BizJet arriving from Birmingham. I wonder if that's going to go to 36 right /04, or if it's going to land on 06. 777 arriving from Panama City. EasyJet A319 arriving from Marrakesh. No A318s. Quite a few airplanes are on their way. It's 11:48, and quietly the Kaagbaan has become the only runway for inbound traffic. Next up is KLM flight 1088 and Embraer 190 arriving from Cardiff. Flight time 55 minutes. The Papa Hotel Echo Zulu November, which is 16 years old, first flight February 2010. Thought I was hearing a departing BizJet behind me, but if it is, I'm no longer able to see it. Okay, Malta over there in the background. Fidel Castro is hovering over there. Well, he was hovering. Has he seen something? No. That was a very gradual descent. That wasn't going for prey type of dive. So let's see. Triple, triple, triple. What's this? A300. Triple. Suparna triple. Not sure what the rightmost of the three is. Oh wait, that's Saudia, of course. That's the green of the new livery of Saudia, the A330. So no 747 tails that I can see, at least from here. Really odd day without any 747s. It's as if today is a grim look into the future. A future without Boeing 747s. Where all the cargo airplanes are 330s, 350s. Well, not yet 350s, but that will happen. And triples. Hey, John is also back. John Spuick, which I probably mispronounced a little. Because my English is failing, I am dehydrating. I need to take a small glass of vodka. Bottoms up, ladies and gentlemen. Operator, pour me just a small glass. And drink it while we're waiting for KLM flight 1136 to be arriving from Dublin. E2 Embraer 195. Klaas is wondering if there are any Zeppelins today. I don't think I've seen them yet. There is something big coming this way, but I don't think that is a Zeppelin. That looks like a regular airplane. Remco, goedemorgen. E2 Embraer 195, KLM flight 1136, and where are the airplanes? Where are the 747s? Where are the next airplanes? The next airplane after this is going to be an Embraer 190 arriving from Bilbao by the looks of it, which is still flying over The Hague. What is going on here? A moment of calm in which we can do some bird spotting perhaps. Show, Carlo made a remark about where is Aer Lingus and we don't get to see them anymore. And I remarked, well, Aer Lingus is flying to Amsterdam on almost a daily basis from Cork and Dublin still. Almost every stream we get to see at least one of them. But thinking of that, I don't recall that we've seen any Aer Linguses yet this stream. Or have we? Are they underway? Or is Friday one of those days that Aer Lingus doesn't fly to Amsterdam? I'm not sure. So, Russell Crowe over there. Oh, I'm sorry. You guys all look alike. Russell Crowe is over here. It was like, that's my cousin, bro. You were filming the wrong crow. I'm over here. So if this is Russell, then this is one of his cronies. Chris Koot is in the water doing cardio as always. Earlier, when the grass was cut over there in the field, we had a hairy situation, but we have yet to see hares today. That doesn't mean they're not here, but they're better at hiding. That's not it. Is it? No, that's... No. For a moment I thought maybe there was a hare over there. Oh wait. Or... Where did I... No, that's a heron. A heron. No. More herons over there. Russell seems to be exploring here in the grass. The Chinese triple is flying towards Amsterdam. Looks like it will pass over the airfield at 7,000 feet and will do a downwind approach north of the runway glide slope. Hey, thank you Bubble Forever, Aer Lingus ETA 1240. Right, so it's coming. Hey Danny, goedemorgen. Back in the homeland. Back in the north. Danny was visiting me yesterday. He also took awesome pictures of me in action yesterday while streaming. If you haven't seen, head over to the community section and you can have a look. Thunder Lady is tuning in from The Hague. Good morning, Thunder Lady, and good morning to everybody else who may have joined. So, those of you who may have joined later, you may have missed the diverting A340. Had technical problems. Gear hatches wouldn't close. They weren't able to resolve the issue in the air, so they had to take the problem to the ground. In other words, diverting and landing here on the Kaagbaan. I'll make a separate video out of it. Don't you worry. Wasn't much to see on the outside though, except that the hatches did close normally when the gear got lowered again. So there are two couple of geese here, two geese couples. One has around 13, or at least they used to have 13 goslings. Their home is over there, and I think that the other pair is on the other side. So that's one of the parents. And I did see movement over there earlier this morning. At least several of the 13 are still remaining. Now over there on this end there is also a pair of geese, and they have two goslings. I'm not sure, I think they went on land last time we saw, but where they currently are I don't know. I don't see them right away. Two baby goslings, all yellow and furry still. They made a parade in front of us earlier in the show. Maybe I'll make a separate video out of it, but that was really lovely to see. I just realized I haven't updated the meter in a while. Let's do that after this, before it starts to get really busy. Ember 175 arriving from Nuremberg up next. Before that, let's have a quick look at the meter. What we have in the ticker is pretty outdated. I'm refreshing the meter page as we speak, so that we can have a look. The wind is blowing from the east. It's still okay. Open sesame. Keep have to verifying that I'm a human on the website. quite annoyingly. Takes some time. I'll use that time to also change the meter in the ticker. So the meter is now updated in the ticker, and this is the website of the meter where you can see things visualized. Cav okay, ceiling and visibility are okay. The lower 5,000 feet surrounding the airport are clear of clouds and rain or other visual impediments. Wind is blowing from the east. That means crosswind to the right means that the airplanes are ever so much grabbing with their noses towards us while landing here on the runway. Temperature 15 degrees Celsius, roughly 60 Fahrenheit. 6 knots of wind, not much, but at least at times ample to keep the bugs at bay. Next up, well, speaking of bugs, we need more wind. Embraer 175 arriving from Nuremberg, KLM flight 1840. Hey Axel Janmaat, good to see you again. Charlene, goedemorgen, good to see you again. Welcome back. Ah, and Danny says that the C-17 did leave yesterday at around 2:30 p.m. from 09. Jesus. Got an escort all the way from the apron to the departure runway. Well, there you go. For a long time yesterday it was looking like it was going to leave shortly after 1, but then it got delayed, and apparently the actual departure time was even later than it said at the time I wrapped up the stream yesterday. That's the downside of everything that isn't a passenger airplane. The estimated times of departure hardly ever are met. Here's the Chinese Schiphol, as expected, flying downwind north of the runway. Meanwhile, need 2 Embraer over here. The Chinese triple is going to be landing here soon. Hey, nice. We have a bizjet that is on final to runway 04. Coming in from... where was it again? Always have to get my bearings in. It doesn't happen often that we get bizjets flying directly to runway 04, but here we are. So you'll see that this bizjet is not flying on the glide slope of runway 06. It's also not flying on the glide slope of runway 36 right. And doing a breakaway landing. This airplane is now directly flying in to runway 04, a glide slope between the glide slopes of the 2 big runways. Charlene, you haven't missed much except for the diverting A340. No 747s were underway this morning before I went live. And I think only one has departed, or at least in the beginning of the show, only one departed from Miami. So unless there are bonus queens coming in from Paris or so, I don't think we're going to get any 747s in today's show. Quite remarkable. There also doesn't seem to be any 747 parked here on the cargo apron. This is VistaJet, arriving from Birmingham, 44 minutes on the way. It's a Cessna Citation XLS Plus. And it also has XLS in the registration. It's the Delta Charlie XLS. X-Ray Lima Sierra. Hailing from 2012, making it 14 years old. Going directly in for runway 04. We're still not going to be able to see the touchdown. The buildings that are in the way when they do a breakaway from 36 right to 04 are still going to be in the way from here. There you go. Sand dunes. Sand dunes, buildings and airplanes in the way. Erik, goedemiddag. Good to see you again, mate. And thanks for the kind words, Dick, who writes in Dutch. Tightly filmed, boy. I do the best I can. I pride myself in trying to get the tightest follows that you can get. The current tripod is helping a great deal in that sense. Much more rigid, much more drag settings as well. EasyJet A319 arriving from Marrakesh up next, and after that a 777-300 arriving from Panama City. Right there. It seems we've crossed through 400 likes. Thank you all so much for that, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys are enjoying the show and you haven't done so already, consider adding to the likes. It really helps to bring in more people in the future. And Lord knows we certainly can use them during weekdays because there's plenty room for more. Much more seatings in the lounge, both Lurkers Lounge, the Aurora Sky Lounge. So let's bring those people in. EasyJet A319 arriving from Marrakesh, which of course is in Morocco in the north of Africa. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. It isn't mandatory to say hi, but it is always appreciated when people do say hi. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be shy. Quite a few people are watching and together they know quite a lot. So go ahead and shoot if you have any questions. GE90s being started. Quite clearly audible. I'll drink to that. Hey, and a BizJet taking off from 04. Funny, no, runway 22. So, moments ago, an airplane landed on the runway that this airplane took off from. And now in the other direction, BizJet just took off. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Brom has to go sleep after the night shift. Sleep tight, Brom, and see you in the next one. Wonders if I'm going to be streaming in the next 2 days. Why do you ask? Hunter Cat says that there is a KC-135 coming my way, just passing Amersfoort at the moment. If it's coming from the direction of Amersfoort, and if it is high enough to be producing a contrail, I'm thinking this may be it. Currently the airplane is still behind the sun. The sun is between us and the airplane, and that means that we cannot see it quite distinctly. It will have to pass beyond the sun, and then it will get more contrasty and easier for us to see details in it. It has 4 engines. That's all I can see for now. Peter has to go. Thank you for joining, Peter. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peter is celebrating his birthday tomorrow. All the birthday boys. Wow. Sander the other day, Michael today, Peter tomorrow. Well, I wasn't sure about going out tomorrow and on Sunday, Eric, because as you know, quite a few locations are closed. And I don't feel like there's a lot of added value in going to the places that everybody is going to in the weekend to be filming. But apparently the Polderbaan is open tomorrow and on Sunday, so... Alright, well, that airplane that may have been the strata tanker has now passed us by. And insofar as we are going to be able to see it, we should have the best contrasts right now. That does look like a strata tanker to me. Is it going to be entering more clear sky? No. Unfortunately, it isn't. It does look like a strata tanker, as far as I can see, but you guys see it better. Thing is, it's going to go into the more cloudy part of the sky over here, so double triple shot, although not exactly the same as a 747, it is nice to see. And Eric celebrated his birthday yesterday. Belated happy birthday, Eric. Gefeliciteerd nog. Hope you had a nice day yesterday. Right, Emirates Sky Cargo is ready to cross the runway. We all know what that means, right? Nah, it's not going. I think the 737... Yeah, it's holding short. The 737 is going to be landing here first. And what's that? That's not... No, that's Daisy Duck. That's not Goslings. Alright, KLM Flight 1774 arriving from Berlin. No carry cabin in this one. The gift that keeps on giving. It is triple after triple here on the cargo apron. And a twin jet passing overhead. Is that the Hainan arriving from Brussels? Yep, it is. That's just an Embraer. Hainan livery looks an awful lot like the one we have over here. Suparna. Are Hainan Airways and Superna Airlines related in some way? Or is it just the Chinese colors, yellow and red? Well, hope you guys don't get bored with it, but we have to. It's just mandatory. Now this one, did it arrive or is it leaving? It arrived here, didn't it? Eric is referring to a stream that me and Wolfgang did last year when he came and visited the Netherlands. Now it was because he was visiting and vacationing here in the Netherlands that we were able to do a stream together. So unless either I am going to where he is or he is coming to where I am, I don't think that a stream together with Wolfgang is going to be happening anytime soon. But the moment we are catching up again and we're doing streaming and not skiing, I'm pretty sure he would love to join again and co-host. Ah, Sparta is a daughter to Hainan Group. Didn't know that, so that explains a couple of things. Snorfeet says that an A380 will pass overhead soon, now in the vicinity of Hilversum. Oh yeah. But it's only a very small contrail, actually. Very tiny. Hard to overlook. And also pretty hard to find, but there it is. That's an Emirates A380 if I am not mistaken. So that should get closer by. Then if you look at this twin jet, it is, well, you can already, I don't have to zoom in even, you can already see it is producing a much more pronounced contrail. Quite remarkable to see the difference. That twin jet is producing a big fat contrail, and you really need to look closely to see the A380. It is right there, but you really have to look closely to see it. Hey! And there's even an airplane crossing without producing a contrail. There you go. Don't see that every day either. Yeah, so my camera can go only so far. The top end of optical zoom, which is around 600 millimeters of full frame equivalent, that's over here. Now my camera can go up to 800 times digital zoom. There's two settings, 400 times digital zoom and 800. I always have it at 400 because that is already overkill. Going to full 400 will give you this. Now, it's a compliment to the Sachtler tripod and tripod head that I'm able to follow this airplane so steadily while being so far zoomed in. This is moderate digital zoom. But hardly a contrail it is producing. Can almost read the registration, can't we? Right. Time to go back to what we can see on ground level, because there's a wide body coming in. Delta. That was Delta Airlines Flight 48, returning from New York, JFK, A330neo. Next widebody is 2 airplanes from now. Transavia is first, and then KLM with a 777 arriving from Lima in Peru. KLM triple arriving from Lima on the left, and on the right Transavia Flight 6336, symmetrical flight number, arriving from Valencia. Hey Gerrit, goedemiddag. All's well on my end. Hope all is well on your end as well. Although, well, I am still comfortable, but with my winter parka on, which I definitely needed this morning. Things are starting to get a little warmish. Again, I only wear a t-shirt under my coat, so it is still doable. It's a big difference. This morning we started with overcast conditions and a pretty cool breeze to boot. Gloves and even in the beginning a buff were needed to keep things warm. Right now the sun is coming out more and more. Temperatures are climbing. The sun is shining. Lovely weather. So yeah, apparently tomorrow and the day after tomorrow the Kaagbaan is going to open up. I hope that everybody is going there, so that I can go here and film in peace and quiet. Harry the Heron over there, or at least one of the many Harrys. Couple of geese. These are the parents of the big flock of goslings. I think they have, or at least at some point they had 13. Predator bird still sitting there. And over here, the coots. And the duckies are over there. Next up, KLM, flight 744, arriving from Lima in Peru, which is right next to Ecuador! Buttery. A330-esque. Lowering the hind wheels touch down first, then the front wheels of the main gear, and then the nose gear comes down. That's almost like an A330 landing. Richard Skyscraper, good afternoon. Am I hearing... Thought for a moment I was hearing a helicopter, but looking around I'm not seeing any. Right, okay. BA City Flyer arriving from London City up next, and Embraer 190. After that, another Embraer 190 from KLM, and after that, an A330neo from Delta. Snorfeets asks, what is your personal favorite airplane? That's a good question. For me, if I had to choose one, I think I probably would go with a Boeing 747. Though A350s also come close if they are donned in the right livery. I think I'd have to go for 747. What about you guys? If you had to choose one. Let's keep it simple. Passenger airplanes. Concorde also ranks high, of course. Oof, it's always a tough question. Then he says that the McDonald's Spottersplaats should also open up from the evening or tomorrow morning. I thought the road sign said it was until today. Oh, okay. Well, with the wind not changing, the McDonald's isn't that interesting actually. You need southerly wind so that runway 27 is used for arrivals and 18 left for departures. Right now, traffic with wind from the east to northeast, traffic is flowing in the opposite direction, and that's not favorable. Just like how it is less favorable to be filming departures from here than arrivals, so too with the current wind conditions is the McDonald's suboptimal. Because the arrivals on Kaagbaan, on Aalsmeerbaan, arrive from the south and are already from the runway before they get close to the McDonald's, and when they take off from 09, like they are right now, by the time they are passing the McDonald's, the airplanes are already pretty high up in the sky. So you need wind from the south, and that doesn't look like it's going to happen tomorrow nor on Sunday. It is a shame because with the Polderbaan closed with wind from the south, it would have been the McDonald's that would have been by far the best location to be streaming from. Quite a few airplanes are coming to the Kaagbaan right now. It's a nice mix, a few wide bodies, a few narrow bodies. Yin is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. Embraer 190. And in the meantime, Mehmet has also returned, and twice now has he gifted memberships. Mehmet, one of the few members who was able to gift himself a membership. Thank you so much for your generosity, Mehmet. Good to see you again. Hope all has been well. You really didn't have to gift memberships, but that was really sweet. 2 gifted memberships, Sheza being the recipient of one, and Ross in BC in the other. And now a third one, Grizzly4566, the recipient. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge to the 3 gifted members. Don't forget to say thank you to Mehmet. Enjoy the custom emojis. Looks like pretty soon we'll get new ones. You can still vote if you haven't done so already. There is a poll open that runs until tomorrow to decide whether or not we need to renew some of the emoji. It seems that the proponents have a lead that is unsurpassable. But members are still eligible to vote until tomorrow. It looks like pretty soon I'm going to have to post a request for suggestions from you guys about which emojis you want to replace. You can pick one, and the one or ones with the most votes will then have to retire. Quite obviously, I will wait with opening that post until the poll is final. If there are a lot of people who want to keep it the same, haven't voted yet, and are still going to vote, it might still, the outcome might still go into a different direction. Obviously, retiring doesn't mean in retiring indefinitely. If you guys want to get any emoji back, also from prior times, just ask me. Now, I'm sorry to hear that, Gerrit. Gerrit's brother passed away yesterday. That is very unfortunate, man. My condolences. The EC Lun from Welling with a dot. The sun is starting to shine more and more. Compare how the sky looks like right now with what we saw this morning and its day and night difference. A few low clouds here. The wind is blowing from the east and is bringing in clear blue skies. Most of the cloudiness is now to the south and to the southwest, and that's all what has been blown away already. That was over our heads earlier in the morning. EasyJet up next, arriving from Edinburgh in Scotland. An A320, flight 23-301. Our buddy Russell is joining us. Saw him approach and was hoping he was going to be landing there, which he is. Krah, krah. Earlier he was also, not today, but during another stream, he was also doing a sort of dance, hip-hopping up and down. Very much to the bemusement of Lisa, who took a video of the part of the stream because she thought it was so funny. I'm hoping he is going to do it again, but I guess it was just a one-off dance he did for us. More EasyJet arriving from Milan, and as if that isn't enough, almost looked like it was going to go around, but nah. EasyJet returning from Milan, and from the same airport now is KLM flight 1614 also landing. I wonder if these two airplanes flew behind one another all throughout the route from Milan to Amsterdam, because if that's the case, that's really, really funny. In the background you can see Delta Airlines flight 164 approaching. That's the next arrival after this. An A330 arriving from Minneapolis. Mighty Bitey, good evening. Raif, good afternoon. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys joined us only just now, you may have missed the diverging A340 that had problems with the gear hatches not closing, and they weren't able to troubleshoot it successfully in the air, so it returned and landed here. We saw its departure as well, and we could already see at the time that something seemed to be up. The gear was up, but the hatches were still down. Yeah. So apparently they weren't able to fix it in the air and had to land. This is Delta Airlines Flight 164, arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's an A330neo. It's 7 hours and 47 minutes underway. The November 402 Delta X-ray. Hey Lisa, you've summoned me. Yeah, I was just talking about Russell's dance that you filmed, that you took a clip of from the stream when it happened. You also may have missed the cute goslings that we saw from a second pair of geese over here. Apparently there are 2 parent geese pairs over here, 1 over there. Earlier we well, I'm not saying today, but earlier, a couple of weeks back, we counted 13, no less than 13 goslings, and while I don't see them right away, they were there on that part, in that part of the canal earlier. Another pair with 2 goslings, which also paraded right in front of us over here. And we could see the fur balls that the 2 goslings are still quite well. Quite lovely to see. Herons, geese, ducks, coots. Everybody is present again. TAP Air Portugal up next, A321neo arriving from Lisbon. Two hours and 23 minutes underway. And this is the Charlie Sierra Tango X-ray Foxtrot. Bada bing, bada boom. Andrew says this TAP Neo is called Amalia Rodrigues. She was a Portuguese fado singer and apparently the best-selling Portuguese artist in the history of recorded music. Well, there you go. Now, also consider the fact that TAP Air Portugal flights are flown by tap dancers and not pilots. What a musical carrier it is. Now, dance for us. Cra, cra. Come on, you can do it. You know you want to. Hey, Ari, goedemorgen. Or good afternoon, I should say more properly. Welcome back, one and all. Next up, a lot to see here at Schiphol Airport. Warmi and Matsuri, which I think, if I recall correctly, is in the northeast of Poland. Quite foresty and lakey district. Maria says he only dances for 500 likes. Well, we still have 35 to go. That's not going to be happening anytime soon then, unfortunately. Yeah, you're right. Maintain your high standards. A Croatian. Indeed. EasyJet up next, arriving from Valencia, A320neo, and after that the 737 from Transavia, arriving from Verona. Another 737 arriving from Prague, and KLM Flight 604 arriving from LAX is also approaching. A320neo. I think I'm hearing something with propellers overhead. I am most definitely picking up the sound of an airplane overhead with propellers, but I'm not able to see it. Hey, a person on the other side of the fence. What? Andrew says diverted Royal Jordanian Dreamliner incoming, was going to Amman, is that so? How about I take out all the... Oh yeah. I'm taking out all the filters because obviously with Royal Jordanian coming this way, there's it's a different, it doesn't have AMS as origin nor as destination, but yeah, Royal Jordanian Dreamliner is diverting to Amsterdam, ladies and gentlemen. It's already a pretty livery, but it looks even better on the Dreamliner by the looks of it, from Chicago to Amman, but coming this way. That is quite spectacular, actually, I have to say. Oh, I think I now see on Flight Radar what the airplane was that I was hearing. BE-20. What's that? Beach King Air. Right. So that's a couple of videos incoming later today, ladies and gentlemen. Diverting Royal Jordanian Dreamliner. That's going to be a channel premiere. And, oh wait, no, it's continuing. No, you bastard. It's not coming to the Kaagbaan. What? But where is it going to 36 right then? No. Come on. Has it been assigned to the wrong runway? Are we only going to see it with the backlight from afar? Come on. Make it turn back. The bastards are directing the Royal Jordanian Dreamliner to the wrong runway. What a shit biscuit. Yeah, well, to put it mildly. Jesus. Yeah. Royal Jordanian is definitely going to the Aalsmeerbaan. Very, very disappointing. Yeah, you're right, Jeff. It's not just ATC at the Polderbaan that hates me. Well, now that I don't have any filters open, I can see that this is Discover Airlines, an A330 passing overhead. So now you see why I'm thinking about getting into ship spotting more and more. Plane spotting is oversaturated. Everybody hates me here. ATC, fellow streamers, what the fuck am I still doing here? Right, Caleb Flight 604, returning from LAX, 78710. And Royal Jordanian turning final for 36 right. Royal Jordanian Flight 264 that was supposed to be going to Amman is going to Schiphol instead. And the duckies providing a smooth transition to the glide slope of 36 right. Though where do I need to point the camera? Oh, I think I already found the Dreamliner. Yeah. Not a small airplane, quite easy to find. Shamrock! Carlo, are you still there? Aer Lingus, Flight 604, next to land here, arriving from Dublin, Ireland. Royal Jordanian Flight 264. Chicago O'Hare to Amman is where it was supposed to be flying to. Well, from Chicago to Amman. The airplane now 7 hours and 42 minutes on the way. It's a 7878. Registration is Juliet Yankee Bah, which is Jak in Dutch. Bah, B-A-H. Bravo Alpha Hotel. It's a 9-year-old airplane. First flight January 2017. Meanwhile, just for Carlo, I am going to show you Shamrock Aer Lingus, arriving from Dublin. Here we go. They're still here. They're still here. Oh, nice combo shot. El Al, the airplane that we saw land here this morning, now leaving again. Quite lovely to see. Nice. Almost an automatic transition. Royal Jordanian arriving from Chicago, diverting to Amsterdam. It was supposed to be going to Amman. Oh, and that was Daisy Duck landing here in the water, being chased away by, of course, a coot. Because who else would chase away fellow birds? Well, they're all hostile to one another. That's the answer. Ah, such a shame. Lovely airplane. Such a shame. Thank you, ATC, for not sending that airplane to us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Tinus! J Amsterdam, that's my buddy Tinus from middle school, who is in KLM Flight 756, arriving from Boner. Nice. Well, I should have no problem filming your arrival, Tinus. Nice. How was your stay? Next up, Norwegian, Max 8 737, Flight 1256, arriving from Oslo. Steven says his ED medicine comes from Boner. That's the best source, isn't it? Hey, check it out. Daisy Duck has ducklings. I thought there were more over there as well. Well, they're swimming too close by for me to catch them. This is KLM Flight 751. It's a arrival from Guayaquil, and that's a port in Ecuador. It's a 7879 Dreamliner. Hey, happy to hear that, JM. So, next after this, J Amsterdam, my buddy Tinus from middle school, is returning from Bonaire. KLM Flight 765. This is KLM Flight 751, arriving from Guayaquil. Seven 7879 Dreamliner. Alright, KLM Flight 765 arriving from Bonaire. A330-200, this is the Papa Hotel Alpha Oscar Bravo, the PHAOB, FWOB. Flight time 8 hours and 43 minutes. The airplane is 20 years old. Its first flight was in July 2005. Air France Baby Bus is behind it, an A318. Quite rare these days, but it's coming. Lovely combo shot, the big and the small. Tinus, are you seated next to a right-hand window? If so, can you try flashing the light? And if so, can you also tell me where I need to point the camera if you are on board and are able to flash the light? Where approximately in the airplane are you seated? In the front, in the back? Before the wings, after the wings? Left. Ah, shoot. Shove somebody away from a right-hand side window. Row 30. Yeah, you're on the wrong side of the airplane, unfortunately. But either way, here you are, buddy. Buttery landing, as almost all A330 landing is. And that's the nose gear. Welcome back to the Netherlands, JM. No reversers, just rolling out. All right. Time for another legend. An A318, ladies and gentlemen. You don't get to see these that often anymore. They're a dying breed. Airbus A318s, and also nicknamed Baby Bus. Air France Flight 1640 is arriving from Paris. Flight time 38 minutes. Nominal flight duration. This is the Vergakup. That's Foxtrot Golf Uniform Golf Papa. It is a 19-year-old. First flight was in December 2006. How many more are there left flying? I think Air France has 4 or so. The Vergakup. Le petit baby autobus français. Oui, oui, indeed, Andrew. Om de du fromage, à bientôt. Merci beaucoup. BizJet on final to 36 right, or maybe more likely it's going to do a breakaway landing to 04. Flying parallel to it, or insofar as you can call converging arrivals parallel, but simultaneously to the Kaagbaan we have a 777 coming in. This is an A Cessna Citation Latitude. Don't know where it's from, don't know where, well, we do know where it's going to go to, but that is it. Time to break away from this arrival. Go back to the 777-200. That is next arriving from San Jose. KLM flight 760. The PHBQP. Fidel Castro in the foreground. And touchdown. Mr. DL is confirming that there are only 4 remaining that are currently flying. In reference to the A318 question, how many are there? Right, let's have a look. Emirates Sky Cargo is flying downwind. Already has passed us by. There it is. Should be landing here on Kaagbaan pretty soon. It is almost 1 o'clock. It's 3 minutes to 1, which makes it all the more remarkable that Emirates Sky Cargo is coming this way, while KLM flight 1818 is already on final to 36 right. So the converging arrivals are once again beginning. Carol in the world, good to see ya. Welcome back. Quite interesting to see that the Emirates Sky Cargo is directed to 06 and not to 36 right. KLM flight 1830 is what is approaching right now. It is arriving from Stuttgart, an Embraer 175, one of the last airplanes to be coming from the east and coming to the Kaagbaan. I think Emirates Sky Cargo might actually be the very last airplane that is arriving from the east. Still coming this way. Converging arrivals once again beginning from 1 till 2. So let's have a look. Narrow-bodies, 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 blah blah. Next up, an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Aberdeen. Next after that, Vueling arriving from Alicante. Emirates next after that. It seems that we've crossed through 500 likes. I didn't even think it was going to be possible today. Thank you so much for the support, ladies and gentlemen. Your likes do help to bring in more people in the future, or at least on paper it should. Now, there's also an A330 arriving from Brussels, but that seems to be going to the wrong runway. Raymond, good evening. Welcome back, mate. So for those of you joining us later, you may have missed a diversion. Two diversions actually. There have been two. One Dreamliner from Royal Jordanian that was supposed to be going to Amman from Chicago. Landed on 36 right, unfortunately for us. We were able to see it, but from a distance. Would have been much better if it landed here, but it didn't. Got directed to the wrong runway. What did get directed to the right runway for us to see was the Suriname A340-600 landing at Amsterdam again. We saw it taking off from center and something was off. We could see it from here. The gear did retract, but the hatches didn't close, and apparently they were unable to solve the problem, causing them to divert back to Amsterdam and land here on Kaagbaan this morning. Separate video of that will be coming out later today. But yeah, Diversion Friday for some reason. Stephen has to go. Thank you so much for joining, Stephen. Hopefully see you again tomorrow or on Sunday. The way things look like right now, probably be coming back here or so. Not sure. Apparently the Polderbaan is going to open up tomorrow, so hopefully everybody will be going there, as normally is the case. Emirates 777, now number 2. Emirates Sky Cargo, arriving from Dubai World Center, 7 hours and 19 minutes on the way. Brand new airplane, got delivered in March 2026. Which is probably also why there is no picture of the airplane yet on flight radar. Andy says, thanks for the stream, it made the time on my slow treadmill 5K go much faster. Yeah, you need distraction, don't you? I always find it a bit tedious to be doing cardio inside, so I prefer to go out whenever possible, but if you do have to do your cardio inside, you better make sure you have some distraction. I found that with cycling, having something like Zwift or Ruvi or Tino map is also much better to kill the time with. Live streams like this also help in procrastinating at work or at school, but it can also be used in the gym or on a treadmill. Yeah, thought so too, Jeff, but apparently it's reopening during the weekend, so it's probably going to be closed again on Monday, but tomorrow and on Sunday it's probably going to be open. Right. I think I'm going to wrap up the stream after the Emirates will have landed. Speaking of this one, Emirates Sky Cargo Flight 9943 arriving from Dubai World Center, 7 hours and 21 minutes on the way. Before the geopolitical turmoil in the Middle East, it used to be 6.5 hours, almost exactly, and almost always it would have been around 6.5 hours at this point. Nowadays, Emirates has been flying a bit more to the west and taking a more indirect route, so flight times have been averaging between 7 hours and 22 minutes like this one today and 8 hours. Brand new airplane, it's the Alpha 6 Echo Whiskey November. Spotlessly clean flap surfaces, as you should expect from an airplane that is only a few months old. Idle reverse landing. And an A330 relocating from Brussels, landing on 36 right, just passing behind the buildings on the right. Should make a cameo in the background, rolling out. And I'm expecting the Emirates triple to be coming this way, either on the left-hand side, which I'm not sure if it's doing that, or if it's coming back via the right-hand side already. There's the A330 rolling out, returning from Brussels. It looks like Emirates might be coming this way via the left-hand side, means that it still has to cross the runway then at some point. I am going to wrap up now, ladies and gentlemen. I've got grass seeds that are drying out and need to go back and water them, particularly since the A380 is expected only in half an hour from now and is going to land on the wrong runway. No point in staying around for that. Hopefully I will see you all in the weekend tomorrow. If all is good, I should be going out. Thank you so much for the support, for the likes, for the super chats, the super stickers, the gifted memberships, etc. And also a massive big thanks to the mods for keeping the chat friendly and accessible. If you did like the stream, don't forget to leave a like if you want to help us reach more people in the future. See you tomorrow, stay safe, and bye for now guys, take care.